All right, so welcome again to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much for joining me. And we have a small discussion this morning. And guess what? We have hit the 15,600 subscriber margin. We're heading towards 15. All right, so the target is to hit 16,000 by tomorrow 10 p.m. That is the target. But guess what? Can we really do it? Can we really do that? I'm not sure. But guess what? We have to set our aim, set our target in trying to achieve those targets. So today is actually Friday the 16th of September. We have a big game coming up tomorrow, later on in the day. JC versus St. Catherine. I'll be at that game. That will be at Prison Oval. Very interesting to see how that game panned out. So guys, in the meantime, just please do smash the like button and hit the subscribe button. For sure, this won't be a long show, people. I'm just here to discuss what Coach Hallgrimson has to deal with coming into the leader or the head coach position for the Reggae Boyz. He has a big task ahead of him, and for sure it won't be an easy one. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, please do smash the like button. Definitely the subscribe button. We have a few persons already in E-Republic. Big up military gunman. Double D Wizard big up. MG, good morning, waiting on the show. Alright, so guys, just please do smash the like button. Please do not forget to smash the like button, people. Please do so. Alright. Now, this is just going to be me generally speaking about the whole scenario surrounding the coach. Now, look at this, people. I want you to, let's first put certain things on the table. Let's put certain things on the table first. We have a new coach. Same backroom staff, we understand that, which means the mentality remains the same with the backroom staff. But the new coach with his own technical staff. Secondly, we're going to be seeing the same players. Now, I want you to look at this. One of the first questions we need to ask, how long will it take this coach to do a squad overall if one is deemed necessary? Many might say, boy, we might not deem any necessary now, but the truth is, if we have a new coach, most new coaches like to have their players who they believe can perform in their particular system. We are getting a coach who play a back four, a 4-4-2 formation preferably. Now, under Tupper, previous coach, many Jamaicans did not like the 4-4-2 system. We didn't like the 4-4-2 system. We complained about it. We said it's old-time football, olden days football. We need to fix it. We need to do better. That's exactly what we said on the Tupper, playing the 4-4-2 system. Now we're getting a same coach that deploys the same 4-4-2 system. Now, first of all, let's look at this now. We live in a country whereas we have seen Jamaica try coaches, foreign coaches, on numerous occasions, and it didn't work. Two things, right? Let's now combine both things. If he start of the campaign and he start off by losing a few games, the Haxes will be out saying, why did we move away from our former coach, our previous interim coach? Why is it that we're always going for a foreign coach who don't understand the culture, who don't understand the Jamaican playing style, don't necessarily understand the Jamaican style of play? So these are the questions that will be asked if he does not start off the right way. Guess what now? Because he is a foreign coach and definitely an established coach, as in qualifying a team to the World Cup, that makes his CV highly credible, which means that expectations are now risen above the norm. The expectations now, people, are skyrocket above the norm. The norm would be, okay, you would need to rebuild, you would need to start off from scratch, getting back new players, getting his type of players that he'd want to play his system. So guess what now? That is where the problem comes in. For him, he's a new coach, new team. Yes, he can do all the research that he wants. Guess what? It's sufficient and not enough for him to really kickstart the Reggae Boyz or the senior national program going forward as right now. He will need time. But does the Jamaican fan base really put in that trust anyone to give them that amount of time? Secondly, his style of play, which I've seen now, I can definitely mention his style of play right now, is a more defensive and catch you on the counter. We have seen Jamaica play that for years. Complain about it. Why are we sitting back? Why are we not attacking more? We have seen that for years. Now, we're going to see a coach who's going to be deploying his team similar to that. E-Group Public said, okay. Big W said, big up Military Guna. Tough Rudy said, bless up. Tough said, why is he up for a tough start? I will get into that. Guys, please do get the likes up. We have over 30 persons watching. Can you please get the likes up, please? Tough Rudy said, I personally expect YouTubers to help us as a 12th man. You guys don't realize how important you guys are in getting fans on board and supporting the program. Very much so. I do agree with that, Tuffy. O'Neill said, I don't necessarily agree with you. The backroom mentality may change as we treat certain type of people different. That is quite an interesting comment, O'Neill. That is quite an interesting comment. And it might sound, I don't want it to sound the R word. I don't want it to sound the R word. But in Jamaica, we really do. But O'Neill, do you really think that the invested personal interest that is heavily involved in the backroom staff will change, so that will allow them to operate in a more professional manner? Or the vested interest, personal interest, will remain the same, and they will just remain the same as individuals in the backroom staff and still try to achieve those personal interests? So that's one of the things that we can look at. That's definitely one of the things we can look at. But for sure, I see what you're saying in regards to the ethnic background. Let's use that term. Based off the ethnic background, how Jamaicans treat people that are of a particular ethnic background. But would they put aside, that is a big question, will they put aside their personal invested interests for treating persons of certain ethnic background differently? That is the question. That is the question, O'Neill. E-Group said, MG, the USL and the CFU has signed a wide-ranging agreement. The USL will create and announce details of a combine for selected Caribbean players who will compete in front of USL technical staff. But USL not change. The quality is still not good. USL quality is not good now. USL come like a bush league. If you sit and watch USL people, the quality is not of high standard. For those who really, really know football, you'll definitely look at it. Don't look at... Alright, so USL, money-wise, a lot of money is there. They pump a lot of money in it. But it doesn't mean that the quality is good. Just the same as MLS. They pump a lot of money in the MLS, but the quality is still not good. Some players that are starring in the MLS can't even make it outside of the MLS. So, but for sure, it's somewhere that I would love to see a lot of the Jamaicans go. Because it's still a step up. It is still a step up. Janior Brown said, big up Janior. Tough Rudy said, that's why Blake's comment, although truthful, was inappropriate. What? What's that word? Because as the captain and our third best GOAT GK, he could share his voice. He could voice his voice is important in the beginning. Big up coach, massive respect. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now the situation is this, Tuffy. Yes, his comments are very much valid and important. What he said is the truth. None of us cannot deny that. Not one of us cannot deny it. The JFF administration can deny it and say that is not the truth. But for sure, none of us cannot. We have seen it. We have felt it. We have understand the situation that's going on. And the best person to speak about a particular situation is the person that is in that particular situation. For sure. Marlon Foster said, he won't succeed because we love the local players too much. No, I don't think so. I highly doubt he will use much or even any local player at all. I highly doubt that. I think this coach is a more European minded in regards to his recruiting. If you look at the Iceland team, you'd realize that most of his players play outside of Iceland actually. So you can go and check that out, people. You definitely realize that most of his players play outside of Iceland. So he's more European minded. So definitely that's not one thing that we should really worry about, that influx of local based players. But what we should be mindful is that we will have friendly international outside of the FIFA window, and what's going to happen then when we can't facilitate a team, we can't put together a team outside of a normal FIFA window. That can be problematic. So definitely the incorporation of a local squad, maybe a B squad, whereas they participate in training exercise on a weekly basis, maybe 1 time or 2 times per week, just to have that understanding of what you want to do in the event there is an international game outside of the international FIFA window. Dwight Spence said, oh, comments are move fast, man. Dwight Spence, the JFF treats I'm going to say European differently than Jamaicans of African descent. Facts. Dwight said, him here looks German. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I didn't really. No, man. That's how the Icelandic people look, man. That's how they look. Even the last name, son upon the last name. They can't. I remember, when you look at the Iceland team, all of the last name them a son upon it, Sigurdsson, this a son, that a son, this a son. Everyone last name has son at the end of it. Tough Rudy said, Marlon Foster, let's give him a chance. This squad is mostly based overseas. Let's see if this is by his 3rd game we get the best 23 regardless of where they are born. Kylian Mbappe, the JFF knows they have to move in a professional and organized way when last they get a coach that qualified for a World Cup. True. All right, so let me tell you people, a lot of people don't know. Next World Cup that is coming up, the 2026 World Cup, basically Jamaica get a shoe in that World Cup. If we don't make that World Cup, we'll not make any other World Cup. We won't make another World Cup in our entire history. Because of the available slots. Mexico, Canada, USA. Mexico, Canada, USA. All already in the World Cup. I think about 4 or 5 spots already advanced to the World Cup. So that leaves the other Caribbean countries, or the other countries in the CONCACAF region, to participate. And you take out the top 3 teams. The top 3 teams already come out. So guess what that means? Jamaica basically have it easy. We're going to play the Surinams, the normal Peru, the Panama. That is now our route. And I do think that separate and apart from the 3 teams that already get because they're hosts of the show of the World Cup, I think we're going to get about 5 slots. Maybe about 4 or 5 slots. And there's no way Jamaica can make that. So basically, this coach already has his foot in a World Cup. Before even kicking a ball, he's halfway there. Listen to it, people. I want you guys to look into it. I want you guys to really look into it. We are already halfway there. Dwight Spence said, where is the JFF getting the money to pay 3 Icelandic coach? Remember that we signed a new Adidas deal. Money is in. Hopefully they can remunerate Paul Hall for his work that he did. Tough Rudy said, Marlon Foster, let's give him an... Oh, I just read that a while ago. Coach, big up coaches Dex. Massive respect. Tyron Williams said, bless up MG. Tough Rudy said, up coaches Dex, do you have your questions for press conference? Coach, if you have the link for the press conference, can you please shout it to me if you have it? Or if you get it. Giovanni Play said, Latibody injured, Stewart injured, and the new midfielder doesn't have a passport. Okay, that's not good news. Eagle Republic said, MG, this will help the young players to get some exposure without hijacking the national team. According to Mr. Speed, the days of players using national team to build their career is over. For sure, but definitely that shouldn't be happening. That's the wrong route in the first place. O'Neill said, do I spend good point. Where is JFF getting the money to pay these foreign but Hall still haven't pending remunerations? Does this coach have a developmental plan for Jamaican football on a whole? That is a good question. And in the same sense, a lot of people don't understand. Right. So people who don't understand football said, get 22 players from 22 different countries, from 22 different systems, put them together, and all of a sudden, they will be playing good football. No. That's not how football is, people. That's not how football. You build a squad. You pick your 20 or your 30 best ever player right across the world and put them together, and the expectations are that they're just going to turn up and perform. I'm sorry, people, that's not how football is. Very much sorry about that. If you ask any coach, and not even, don't ask no Jamaican coach, ask their coaches overseas. Ask the overseas coach. Since we have so much reliance and trust on people from overseas, not what's happening here, people of higher credibility, you will understand. And definitely, Paul Hall is the best, even one of the best persons to speak to about it. He's one of the best persons to speak to about it. And I'm telling you, that's not how it is. That's not definitely how it goes. O'Neill, let me see. Marlon Foster said, remember said JFF was going to pick them again. Dwight Spence said, where is the JFF getting money to pay the coach, and what role does Wendell Downswell work in collaboration with Heimir? Alright, so Wendell Downswell as the technical director, he should be the one who is implementing that particular system. So what he should do, so the coach said, okay, I'm going to play 4-4-2. This is how my 4-4-2 operates. What I would love for is that if I want a player from Jamaica, I want that player in particular to be able to play that same 4-4-2 system that I play. So this is what Wendell Downswell is going to do. He's going to contact all the teams, all the coaches, local coaches that are coaching at Premier League, even football, even schoolboy football level, local clubs as well, and said, okay, this is how the coach plays. Even if you don't play that particular system, at least find time in your training session to teach the players how the system operates, because the coach will want a player who can play in this system in particular, and it will be the best thing if you guys can do so. So that's one thing. That's one of Wendell Downswell's role, to inform and let people know that this is how the coach plays, and we want this system, this particular system, to run through the entirety of Jamaica. So if in the event that the coach wants a particular player, he knows his role and how that system operates. Guys, we have over 50 persons watching. Can you get the likes up, please? Really appreciate it. Eagle Pop said, MG, this will... Oh, I just read that, O'Neill. Marlon Foster said, remember me tell you, MG, the JFF will pick the team again and mess up the team and mess them up. Do I say where did the JFF get the money? I just read that. Costa Rica, Panama, and Honduras are not going to let Jamaica walk into the 2026 World Cup. Good insight. Very, very good insight. Marlon Foster said, like up the channel. Guys, Tough Rudy said, Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama, Suriname, and Jamaica battle for the three spots. So we can't take it lightly. And as I'm saying, people, if we don't make it, something is definitely fundamentally wrong. CT PN said, Heimir came from Iceland. Dwight Spence said, keep up the outstanding coverage of schoolboy football and the second division. I will do so in a Dwight Spence. I won't stop. That is something that I intend on doing going forward. And we actually have a lot more things going forward. Guys, please do smash the like button. Would really appreciate it if you guys do so and keep the likes going up. Let me see. I was just checking something. Let me continue. All right, so Johnny Brown said Omar got his Jamaican passport. Omar Hutchinson. I knew that actually. I knew that. I spoke directly with someone who assisted him getting the passport. So for the under 20 team, people, I know a lot about the under 20 team because I was very much close to an under 20 program and also close to people who are working in the background. So that is the reason why I knew that one. But I think we that was mentioned a good while back. E group of the Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Haiti, and Curacao. Do not count your chickens, bro. And if we see all of these teams and can't defeat these teams, we are in problem. Tough Rudy said MG, the coach, can help to develop, but that's not an head coach job. That's the job of the JFF technical director. But as I'm saying is, I just mentioned in regards to the developmental strategy going forward. For example, so this is what happened to Rudy. So the principal change, right? The principal change, but all the teachers remain the same. The principal come with his own strategy in regards to how the teachers should deliver their classes and basically set the outcome. So the principal is coming from a champion who know how Arles do exceedingly well, and he's coming to a different school who's not so well academically, and he said, this is what we want to do. And he wants to change certain aspects. Yes, not everyone will be gravitated to that, but he knows, or she, whoever the principal is, that this is what have granted him success at numerous schools that he has been to. Now listen to this. The persons, his boardroom, whoever be the bursars and all these persons, the dean of discipline, the vice principal, would have come and said, okay, so let's see how we can impart this basic knowledge of how you want to carry out your targets in how we want to achieve that particular success. It's quite similar. The head coach role is not to fix Jamaican football. It's not to fix Jamaican football. Fine, no problem. I agree with that. But if you have a national team playing 4-4-2 and your entire nation football is playing 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3, what is going to happen when that national team wants one or two players from the local contingency, and none of those players understand one bit of the coaches of the senior team style of play? What do you think is going to happen? He's going to look like duck out of water, out of place. He's definitely not going to look good enough. The way Spence said, we will need to prepare, fight, and work for 2026. Any news on the under 17 national team preparation? No news on that as yet. None whatsoever. Darrington Ferguson said, a new coach can have positive impact on the squad. However, if the players don't buy into the system that is implementing, then it will not work. True, that's very much true. I agree with that. Foreign Spider said, after listening to the Sportsmax interview with Dennis Chung, JFF Finance Minister, he said two things clearly. They won't be paying Paul Hall. Wow. And Speed pick the coach. Those things are bad enough. Remember, that Speed don't work alone. No. Speed work is a technical committee. No. He's just the head of the technical committee. So any decision is made. Yes. What if 5 names come up? What if 5 names come up, right? And the technical committee decided that they want to go for number 4. So it's 1 to 5, and they want to go for number 4. Even though Speed is the chairman of the technical committee, he doesn't really have the final say, and his say is not the only say. So if it normally boils down to a vote. But in the same sense, his say drives a lot of water. But he's not the only person. But he's representing the technical committee, so he's going to get the backlash for it. So people, a lot of the things that we are seeing on face value is not, you see, when you go behind the scene, it's not what really happened behind the scene. No, we're seeing the face value. We're not seeing what's happening behind the scene. E-Group said, E-Republic MG, the mandate of the incoming coach is to qualify the Reggae Boyz for the 2026 World Cup, period. True. And then what happened after? What about the long-term plan? What about the long-term plan? So he's qualified for the World Cup. We drop out in the first round. Then what? We're qualified for the World Cup. Is it to participate or to go to the World Cup to really compete? Then what? So there is big notion that, boy, just qualify. Then what? And if we don't qualify, then what? If we don't qualify, all that billions in Jamaica, millions in the US that is spent to qualify, and we don't qualify, then what? Wow, fire the coach, get a new coach again, and start the same cycle? Then what? People, you see, what I'm saying now, people, there's a lot of narrative going on. People are speaking and they don't really understand what it takes to build a team that is going to be successful for the future. Football is not about no and what you can get right. No, that's not what football is about. All the most successful teams in the world, they go through a phase where they build. You must build. You must. That is just the general concept of football. You must build. It's not just get up, get a new coach, get 23 players from all over the place, and then get the results. No, that's not football. That's not football. It may sound away. That's not football. Eagle Papa said, very interesting to see if Mr. Hallgrimson embraces his 16th plus 7 dwarf selection. What's dwarf? Process. Selection to the national team should be based on meritocracy. Alright, so the thing is, if those 7 players are from the under 20, I have no problem. That shows a very much a valid contingency plan. If those 7 players are from the under 20, I have no problem at all with it. I have none whatsoever. If those 7 players, if you pick the 16 players and the 7 from the under 20, people, I am good as gold with that. Because guess what? That there is building. That is what you call development of, that is what you call a bet, a real program. Look at the England team. England always have at least 5 youth players in the team. At least 5 players who are under 20 are in the range of 18 to 23. At least 5. At least. So guess what? In the next World Cup cycle, those 5 players are vastly enough experience and looking forward. So we pick the best 7 or so out of the under 20 squad. The team, the players that you see performing well consistently, you use those players. Hopefully, Hallgrimson is not coming for a Caribbean working holiday. Iceland is ranked 62, 1 spot ahead of Jamaica. Agree with you by using the school system, but in football, that kind of development should start from from under 8 up to 14. You can never get any club to play the same system. Youth program. Agree. But guess what now? No? Remember not Tough Rudy. They said, boy, that is not the senior coach responsibility, and the main importance is getting to the World Cup. No one really care. No one is speaking about the development of football. No one is talking about that. And if we don't make it to the World Cup, then what? That is the big question now. If we do not make it to the World Cup, then what? Billions in Jamaicans spent, and what to look forward to? A empty hand? People, we need to think rational. Really need to think before we speak about certain aspects. We need to look into what is happening in the world of football. That same Iceland team that went to the World Cup, that was a built team. That was not just a team that they just picked their pick. No, that was they built that team. There was contingency plan put in place. There's developmental plan put into place to get the team where they are right now. And that is the reason why even look at Canada. Canada is reaping their success. Look how long Pepe and these guys who are part of the program. And now they are reaping that success from it. O'Neill said, after the technical director and technical. Darrington, for instance, from 1998 until now, we are unable to return to grand stage. We keep on doing the same thing and ending with the same results. I am sick of it. It's a repetitive cycle over and over again. Dwight Spence said, no one wants to talk about this, the fall of Icelandic football and the sexual assault and scandal that led to the resignation of the entire Iceland FA board. Whoa. Dwight Spence, I didn't know that. You are bringing that to light now. I never knew that. Guys, keep on smashing the like button. Tough Rudy said, agree with you on using the school. Just read that. Iceland is ranked 62, 1 spot at Jamaica. Hopefully, I just read that. Long-term plan is this responsibility of the technical director. But if, all right, so this is what happened. The long-term plan, yes, it is the responsibility of the technical director. But if the technical director is working with Hallgrimson, most definitely they must work together for that same long-term plan. They must have the same goals. They must have the same goals. Because if he wants to be here for the long-term plan, or if Hallgrimson wants to be here for going to the World Cup and also having a succession plan, he must be working with the technical director. He must also be looking to that same long-term plan. So it's not just the technical director. It's not just the technical director, people. If we want to build a team to say like 2020 or 2030, so 2030 we want to go into the World Cup 2030 and at least go to quarterfinals, semifinals, even the finals. We must start from now, and it starts with the appointment of this new head coach. Guess what? We're going to put things in place, and even, because remember, the technical director can put a particular system in place, and the head coach said, I don't believe that that's going to work for me. Remember, that is the reason why the technical director and the head coach must work together. That is the reason why, even in club football, you realize that when the technical director when the club is looking at players, it involves the club technical director and the coach, because they must have an understanding. The technical director must know the coach's system and the type of player that suits the coach, and the coach can say, yes, I want that player because I can see how he plays and he will suit my system. That is how it goes. That is football, people. It's not just the coach boy and the coach just deal with the Reggae Boys. And that's not how it is. That is not how it is, people. It is a collective effort. That is the reason why I emphasize on development and building a team to succeed. Not just putting a squad together. Building a team to succeed and not just putting a squad together. We need someone in charge of youth programs. For example, Marion Garden will be working closer to the no coach. Therefore, he's the best person to be in charge of youth program. Well said. I think that's a good idea. He'll be working with the new coach. So Marion Garden working with the youth team. So he has that same ideology of the new coach, passing it on to the youth team. So, going forward, the under 13, the under 14, the under 15, the under 17s, the under 20s all play one particular style of football. So guess what? The under 20 player, the under 20 right back, the under 20 left back can just transition into the senior team quite easily, knowing his role. Even without the coach telling him what to do. He knows his role because he has played in that same system. A country football cannot be successful if the country in itself don't have a system. That is facts. All the most successful teams in the world, their countries play one particular system. Let's have a look. Let's look at France. One of the most successful country in world football. One of. France goes to the National World Cup. France go to the World Cup. Their national team, let's say a player like Giroud. They don't play without Giroud, despite they have better strikers. They don't play without Giroud. Now, Giroud can finish a World Cup not having a shot on target, and the team live in the World Cup. And he's their striker. But they consistently use him, because if it's the coach's system, he knows what the coach wants. It doesn't matter if he scores or not. He's doing his role. He is doing his role. So what I'm saying is, a team can only be successful when they build from the ground and have that particular system in place. Whereas they can seek to better themselves at every single level, under 14, under 15. And it's going to be a transition. The under 14 player can move to the under 17. The under 17 player can move to the under 20. The under 20 player can move to the to the senior team quite easily without facing any issues. Darrington said, realistically, the aim is to develop the football for the long term. So we need to build a solid foundation so that youngsters can matriculate and our football future is in good hands. Agree. Do I say who is paying Wendell Downswell? I don't know. JFF, I assume. He's working for JFF. A-Group said the technical director, Mr. Wendell Downswell, is responsible for developing and instituting long-term policies for improving the country's football. Hallgrimson was the coach and Lagerback was the technical director. But didn't they work close together? They work extremely close together, so they must, because they both have the same ideologies. They both have the same plan. They both have the same future. They know exactly. Well, is it Lars Lagerback? I think Lagerback. When Lagerback left and Hallgrimson took over, it was smooth flowing. Smooth flowing, because he knows exactly what to do. He knows how to operate. It was smooth flowing. Big up MPEC, massive respect. Dwight Spencer, we do not need a Busby situation on our hand. What do you mean by that? Forrest Price said we better have the same expectations, if not more, of this coach than we had did Paul Hall. From that, he should help with development of football in Jamaica. But let's see. Dwight Spencer said Miguel Coley for technical director. Why you said Miguel Coley? Coley is the perfect for the TD role. Did Heimir win any trophy in Qatar? Good question. I don't know, Dwight Spence. Next we have E-Republic said, MG, the very day the JFF expected the 10-year developmental plan from Paul Hall, they should have removed Downswell from his post. That was a no confidence vote against Downswell in my book. I don't understand. What do you mean by that, E-Republic? I don't know what you mean by that. People, I'm closing off in the next few minutes. What do you mean by that, E-Republic? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm reaching, Darrington said, reaching to the World Cup is just a start. Then, however, the aim is to ensure that our football players are more marketable for global export and infiltrating the major football market. Now, the only way we can do that is actually having a proper development, a developed league. That's the only way we can do it. If our players are not properly developed, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have serious problems. We are going to have serious problems. All right, so E-Group probably not replying. Guys, definitely. So the reason why he has a lot on his hand and he has a lot of work to do from here on is because he's now going to be dealing with a squad who is coming from a phase whereas they still don't understand. They still don't understand. They still are not on board with the JFF. The squad is still not on board with the JFF. Yes, they want to represent Jamaica, but there's a lot of things in the backroom staff that is hindering this particular squad, or a set of players, from really performing at their utmost best. So that's one thing. The coach has to get into the mindset of the players. Say, guys, we are trying to move forward. This is what we have to do. This is how we plan to going forward. This is what we plan to do going forward. And definitely, so he has a lot of work to do. He needs to get into the mindset of these players and said, okay, this is a new task. This is a new regime, coaching staff basically. Now the problem already started in regards to Andre Blake not being selected in the squad. Will we see a backlash from the players? And that would be the first, that means that the coach will be the first person to be feeling that particular backlash. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot coming at this new coach. I'm telling the people there's a lot. He has a lot to deal with. But most definitely, people, we're going to go forward. Eagle probably said, MG, I am not sure if things have changed, but the technical director position was a funded position. The funds are provided by FIFA. Okay, I didn't know. MG, did you watch the Sportsmax interview with Dennis Strong? Yes, I did. Very much an awful interview. Dwight Spence said, what has Heimir won since he left Iceland? Has he succeeded outside of his comfort zone? I'm not sure now. I don't think so. When I look at his credentials, I can't remember seeing a trophy, actually. Jamal Hibbert said, quick thought on Omar Hutchinson getting his Jamaican passport. Alright, so I knew for a long time. I think I did a video on it. I knew for a long time. It's not now he got his passport. He got his passport a good while now. From the last friendly, I think a week after the last friendly, which was a Catalonian friendly, he got his passport. I think it was from that. I think me and the person who helped him get his passport were having a discussion, and I think it was then. But the problem was paperwork. Yes, you get your passport, but there are paperwork to put in. There are paperwork to put in to officially become a citizen. There are paperwork to put in. So I'm not sure why those paperwork didn't go in. But definitely, I love the fact that he's coming on board. And these are the players that we need to be seeking from early. That is the reason I said development. So imagine in the The idea of the 16 players plus the seven developmental players. Imagine if those 7 developmental players are Connor Boyz Clark. Well, I think Connor Boyz Clark should be in the first team. Connor Boyz Clark, Omar Hutchinson, Jamar Clark, Blake, the first one named Tyler Roberts, Chad James. What if these 7 are these players from the under 20 that stood out that you said, okay, we're gonna work with these players. We will work with these players going forward. What is that? Would you guys accept that? For me, that is the ideal way going forward. For me. Ian Cam said, military Omar just got his passport. Ian, may I have go discuss that? May I go link you upon IG, Ian. Link me upon IG. Darrington first said, only all due respect, Jamaica have no style of art and identity. Please expound on that close Brazilian style. They said they can't pay Hall the rest of this money because the contract Hall has only all signed it. Whoa. That, you know what? You know what? That's blatant disrespect. That is blatant disrespect. That is blatant disrespect. And that's not good. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna link Paul Hall. I'm definitely gonna link Paul Hall. Because see what I go on. Anyways, people, smash the like button, people. I'm gonna cut now because I planned it for. I have to go now. I actually planned it for a 30 minutes stream. I've far surpassed the 30 minutes. Anyways, people, I have to go now. Massive respect to those who tune in. Thank you very much again for joining me on the 9 a.m. live and in morning time. I'll discuss. Oh, so Ian, link me upon Instagram, please. Do I Spencer, the JFF cannot afford a Brazilian coach. Big up, people. Definitely, I think we might see a lot more on that Paul Hall situation. We might see a lot more. Maybe something way more significant. Lawsuit, possible. We don't know. Anyways, big up, people, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time, smash the like button, people. MG Sports TV, people. We are out.